Hey guys, Shadows9 here, 916 here. I'm going to be continuing reading the Too Innocent to Kill, Jeff the Killer love story. And this time, since I found out there was an intro, now I'm gonna be reading 10 more chapters, and then that's the end. So I'm gonna get going with this, and yeah. Okay, let's get back to reading. Chapter 5. I'm Sophia. May I ask why you're here? I asked nervously, trying not to make an eye contact. You're friends with Jeff? She questions. I perked up at the question. If she knows Jeff, then maybe we could be friends. Yes, he's my friend, and my daddy made him my bodyguard. I stated cheerily. I can't believe it. I might have another friend. She's so pretty, too, and looks my age. She narrows her eyes and pulls out a knife. Perfect. She comes out at me, and I barely ducked under the knife as it thrusts towards me in such a rough manner. I scream and I hear someone start running. As Jane goes to make another thrust, I close my tear-filled eyes. I then hear a clang, like two knives clashing together. Open my eyes to see Jeff had saved me. He then grabs her arm and she tries to recover, and he throws her against a tree. I let a tear fall as he bends down and wipes it away. Can't you stay out of trouble? His deep gravelly voice emphasizes the word out, and then chuckles and takes a deep breath. I told her not to follow me, that fool. I look at him, and then I look at her unconscious body. I feel bad for her. I don't know why, though. I then walk over to her, and I put her into a comfortable position. What are you doing? Jeff asked, confused. I'm trying to help her not be so uncomfortable. She just tried to kill you. I know. It's just, I don't know. Jeff then smiles, making the gashes slightly curve upward. He then sighs. You're too nice and too innocent. I smile and I run up to him and I grab his arm and I start running. Where are we going? He asks. He starts running so he won't trip. I then look at him, wink, and stick my tongue out. You'll see. I then stop. We ended up at my secret place. It's a circle of different kinds of flower bushes, tall enough to where no one could see us if we were in the middle. There is a place where you can enter and it's not noticeable if you don't know about it. I drag him in and he looks around in amazement. I have brought in a lot of stuff here. Books, a couch, a bed, and a lot of stuffed animals. I pick up Miss Genevieve, whatever, I can't pronounce that name. And I show her to Jeff. Miss G, I'm gonna say for short, is a beautiful porcelain doll with a long blue dress with fake roses upon the skirt, waist, and chest. I let him hold her. I'm sorry guys for some words I can't pronounce. Yeah, continuing. Please be careful, she's fragile, and she's my favorite doll. He nods and he pets her hair. There is a strange look in his eyes, and he hands her back to me. What's wrong? I ask out of concern. Nothing. It's just I'm psychotic and? I urge. Well, I get the urge to kill things that I find beautiful and things I find annoying. I nod and I get this weird thought. He doesn't think I'm beautiful? Am I beautiful? I've always thought I was pretty, but am I beautiful? I ask, looking dead in his eyes. Two different feelings come over his eyes, ones that I can't name, and he sighs. No. You are beautiful, but I don't want to kill you. He says, his face turning a slight red. I smile real big and close my eyes, and I hug him. I let him go, and his face is even redder. Well, as red as his skin can get anyways. I then grab his hand and I pull him to the other stuffed animals and dolls, and I tell him about each one. One is a blue rabbit that Daddy got me for my birthday in 1 year, and another is a doll with red hair, and it's porcelain nor glass, but made from cloth. Daddy then calls for us, and we run back, and we all sit down to eat. The only thing is that I have a bad feeling about tomorrow. Chapter 6. I open my eyes to hear banging and fighting. I get up real fast, and I hurry down in my in my nightgown. What's going on? I fly down the stairs to see Jane and Jeff fighting. Jeff then looks away. Sophia, run away! Jane then hits Jeff over the head with the handle of her knife, and Jeff passes out. Jeff! I yell as I run down to him. She picks him up and jumps out of the window and runs away. No! I scream as I ran up to the window. I find a note from Daddy saying that he was out in the woods. I can't tell Daddy. I guess I have to save Jeff. I run upstairs and I change into a random dress and I put on my shoes as I hurriedly rush out the same window and I follow her footprints. And the footprints start fading away and I'm now face to face with woods unknown to me. I know slender woods like the back of my hand, but these aren't Daddy's woods. I gulp as I step into the forest cautiously. I look around as I walk forward. Her prints are getting harder and harder to see. I kept walking and I feel something on my arm. I look down to see a large beetle-looking bug and I scream as I swat it off with my hand. I look around frantically to find any clue which way they have gone, and I see a slit in a tree, as if someone was marking their way so they wouldn't get lost. I notice slits in the trees, and I halt when a big, I don't know which way, big house comes into view. I kept walking toward it when I hear children singing. Kagome, Nagaranu, Yu ni Kagome, Nani shite asobu no yoke no ban ni nakama ni nareru ne Kagome Ushiro no shoumen dar. It sounds really creepy. I shiver as I run up to them. I then see that the kids had made a circle around Jeff. He's blindfolded and tied up while yelling at the kids who have encircled him. You little brats, you better let me go. I will kill you, all of you. Gosh, sorry, people. Gosh damn. Sorry. Okay. Continuing, okay, let me reread that. You little brats, you better let me go. I will kill you, all of you. That small laugh he gave at the end sent shivers up my spine. But I then noticed something worse. The kids. It looks as though they've all been injured in a terrible way. One's eye was missing, the other had one arm, and the other only had half of a head. Tears spring to my eyes. These poor children, they must have been through horrible experiences. I run up to them. Can you all please let my friend go? I ask, slightly scared of what might happen. A little girl with blonde hair and one arm missing looks at me and giggles. He has to guess. I look at her confused when they start circling him again. What does he have to guess? Then a little boy who looks like her twin, who has his head bandaged, replies, Who's behind him? How can I guess? I don't even know your names. La 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 la. Okay, let me reread that. Characters, man. Okay. Rereading that sentence again. How can I guess? I don't even know your names, you brats. Jeff yells as they stop. Jeff, the blue-haired little girl is behind you. They all then look at me and back at him. Fine, the blue-headed brat. They then let go of each other's hands, and I run towards Jeff, and I untie him. He then reaches for his knife, and I grab his hand, and I shake my head. I then stand up and I fall back down, feeling a pain in my stomach. I whimper at the pain and Jeff looks at me. "What's wrong?" he asks, worry tinting his voice. I point to my stomach and suggest, Too much excitement in one day, I guess." He then picks me up and it carries me home. When we walk in the front door, Daddy is standing there. Jeff puts me down and I run up to Daddy. "Daddy, Jane stole Jeff and a bunch of little kids won't let him leave the circle and—" "Calm down, Sophie," he says in a soothing voice. I take a deep breath and I explain all that had happened. Chapter 7. After I told Daddy everything that happened, he tells me to go wash off for supper, and he looks at a couple scratches on Jeff. My stomach still hurts from being nervous, but it should be okay soon, I hope. I make my way to the bathroom and I go to the sink as I pull out a wash rag. I then proceeded to wash some dirt off my face and I wash my hands and arms. I then put the rag in the dirty clothes hamper and I walked downstairs into the dining room. Find supper had been served and Daddy was waiting for me. Apparently Jeff went to go blow off some steam, and I'm scared to know what that means. We are having something new for supper. It's called spaghetti. I find it delicious. I had been missing out on food like this for 13 years. It's not Daddy's fault though. Jeff then walks in and hurries upstairs. I see that he's covered in blood and I sigh. Why can't everyone just get along? With no killing, no pain, just happiness. I then finish eating and Jeff comes back down with the blood all gone. He then eats his plate while glancing at me now and then, worry in his eyes. Why is he worried? Should he be? After that I head to my room, a headache slowly progressing. I lie down on my bed hoping for the pain to stop. I'm writing in something. I think Daddy told me about it. A car, I think. I look around and I look at my hands. They're tiny. I try to speak, but the only sound it makes is goo or ga. I then hear talking. We should just leave her. No, John, we can't. She's just a baby. Who cares? Someone will find her. Just do it, or I will get angry. The car then stops and I hear sobbing as I am picked up. I see a woman. Her face is blurred out. She then starts walking towards the woods. I look around to recognize Cinder Woods. I start crying. Where's Daddy? I'm scared. I continue to cry and the woman whispers, "One day, my love, I will be back. I promise." She then gently lays me down and runs away while tears continue to streak down my face. I then hear footsteps and I look up to see Daddy. He then picks me up and starts walking toward our home. "Sophie, wake up!" My eyes suddenly open and I see Jeff looking at me worriedly. I feel tears running down my face. What did that dream mean? Was I left? Is Daddy my real Daddy? I then hug Jeff and start crying even harder. Jeff seems stunned for a second and then pats my back. "Are you alright?" Jeff asks in a soothing tone. I shrug and I let go of him. "I'm sorry, Jeff. I had a scary dream." "I can't tell. Do you need to talk about it?" he asks. "Yeah, but with Daddy. I need an answer." I answer as I get out of bed. I then make my way downstairs to see Daddy on the couch watching TV. "Daddy?" "Yes, Sophie?" Are you my real Daddy?" "Yes, sweetie." I sigh a big relief. "But I am not your father." My eyes widen in shock and Daddy hugs me and sits me in his lap. "Sophie, there's something I need to tell you." Chapter 8. Jeff then comes down and looks worried. Did he know? Did he not tell me? What? Sorry. What? I asked. Please say he's lying. Please say he's lying. "Sophie, when you were less than a year old, your parents left when your parents left you in my woods, and I kept you as my own. Tears sprang to my eyes, and they start coming down like waterfalls. I start shaking my head, and I run upstairs into my bedroom, and I fall on my head, and on my bed, and I start sobbing uncontrollably. I feel someone rub my back. Sorry, guys. Are you okay? I hear Jeff ask as I look at him. Did you know? I question, the tears still streaking down my face. Jeff looks down in shame. I stand up and he backs away. I point my finger at him. You knew! Why didn't you tell me? Why? Why? I keep yelling why, and it slowly becomes a whisper as Jeff wraps his arms around me. Shh, it's okay. He still loves you, and I know you still love him. I then start sobbing in his chest, and he continues to hold me. I feel a small fluttering in my heart that is kind of painful, and I stand up straight. Jeff, my heart feels weird. He then looks at me and blushes, and I slightly tilt my head in confusion. Will you tell me the truth about something? I nod my head, and he slowly starts to lean in. My eyes widen as his lips meet mine, and then he backs away. I can feel that my whole face is red, and my heart is pounding like crazy. Does your heart feel weird at that? He asks. I slowly nod my head, then the tears have stopped, and I can't find words to speak. I gulp and I look down, embarrassed. He then smiles, and quietly says, "It's called love." I look at him, and with a giant blush on my face, I smile and I hug him. Then, I love you, Jeff. He stares at me, and his eyes slightly sparkle. I love you too. We then walk back downstairs, and I apologize for running away. Jeff and I holding hands the whole time. Slenderman eyes our hands, but says nothing about it. We all then go for a calming walk, and Slenderman continues to say that he loves me as his own, and that he understands if I don't love him. The realization then hits me that even though he's not my father, he's still my daddy. I then run up to him and hug him. You may not be my father, but you're still my daddy. He then hugs back, and we all start laughing. It's supper time, and tonight we are having something called pizza and Pepsi. They both taste delicious. We all then excuse ourselves while I run up to my room with Jeff behind me. He walks up to me and rubs my cheek. So what now? Sorry, character thing again. I asked, hoping for an answer. He gently smiles, which in my point of view makes him even more beautiful. He then leans in and kisses me, and I shyly kiss back. We can be together, and we then hear a crash, and I look towards my window to find it broken. I'm back! Chapter 9. Last chapter I'm going to read for part 2. When we then hear a crash, and I look towards my window to find it broken. I'm back. Jeff then pulls me behind him. Jane continued to stare at us through squinted eyes while holding her knife. I start shaking in fear. Jeff squeezes my hand, and I suddenly feel safe. Jeff can't protect you. She then starts laughing uncontrollably, and she then runs behind Jeff real fast and grabs me. I struggle, and she brings the knife up to my throat. Jeff turns around, his eyes widening in horror. Come closer, and your lover will get her throat slit open. It's me you want, not her, Jeff says, and Jane starts maniacally laughing. She then stops and looks straight at Jeff. It's sad when you fall in love with your family's murderer and you start killing the girls that he falls in love with. Jeff's eyes widen, and he takes a step forward. It was you, he yells. She laughs and nods her head. Poor little Aria, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce her name, didn't even have time to wake up. I look at Jeff, and I can see tears. Why are his eyes tearing up? Jeff then runs forward and she cuts my neck a little, but deep. Cuts my neck a little, but deep and. Okay, this is a misspelling. Sorry, people. And Jeff stops. Tears come to my eyes from the pain. I can feel the blood pouring from my neck. Just then I hear my door open and I feel Jane being dragged off of me, and the last thing I see is Jeff's tearful face running towards me. I slowly open my eyes and I hear a sigh of relief beside me. I painfully turn my neck to see Jeff at my side. Sophie, I thought you were going to die. I'm weird, okay. Continuing, Jeff exclaims. I slightly shake my head and in a soft voice I ask, "No, may I ask a question?" Jeff nods his head and I take a deep breath, then I sigh. "Who is Aria?" I ask, hoping for an answer. He sighs and looks down. Aria was someone I used to be in love with, and besides you, the only person I've ever been in love with. I continue to stare at Jeff as I ask, "Are you still in love with her?" He slightly nods and I frown. "Do you truly love me, or am I in her place?" Jeff looks at me, astonished by my outburst. He then shakes his head frantically. "Of course I do. You are not in her place. I truly love you. You're the one who gave me food and drink, even though I savagely attacked you, and you're the one who rescued me. You rescued me from those brats. You're beautiful, and your personality is like none I've ever seen before. You're the nicest person I know, and with her, I had my doubts, but with you, your forever is all that I need." My eyes widen at the intensity of his voice. I smile and I grab his hands, and he smiles back. "You're beautiful when you smile. I love you too." At supper, I found out that Daddy had saved me and that Jane is now dead. Today, we are having something called steak with boiled potatoes, and it's yummy. After that, Jeff and I went out to the garden to play. After a while of Jeff and I playing, I hear footsteps and then hear, "Teresha, is that you?" Well, guys, that's all for now. You'll be hearing more tomorrow, so I hope you guys been liking it so far, because the person that chose this story had a right choice, because this is good so far. So get ready for next, because part 3, it's going to be the last part, so yeah. Bye, guys.